So this is going to be a lesson on inoculating mushroom totems. So a totem is 3 pieces of wood, 2 big ones and a cap, which we call the I can't remember what we call it, not a pancake. I'll remember it here in a moment. But anyway, we got 6 oak totems here. Oak totems are good for lion's mane. This is what's left of our lion's mane spawn, because we've got to put some under here. This totem is done on the top. It's got spawn in the top. It's got spawn in between. As you can see, it's not always, the logs don't always line up. And now we're getting ready to put some spawn on the ground, just like this one has underneath it. So what we do is we put, the easiest way to do it, I got some, I think these are 3-inch or 2.5-inch, oh no, these are 4-inch framing screws. The nice thing about these is they've got the screw end on the bottom and not on the top. They've also got like a washer thing here that makes it so that they don't go all the way into the wood. So what I do is I take the first thing you want to do is get clean cardboard. So I got a bunch of clean cardboard up here. I cut it up into pieces about this size, right? I want to be able to fit 2 totems next to one another, just like these are, and just like these are. These are oak logs that are already inoculated. Just did them this morning. And they're on clean cardboard. This area is a little damp down here, but it'll be okay. Our goal is to get the spawn in contact with the wood, fasten it down, and I do 2 on the sides. So you can probably see here, I got 1 in here. I got 1 on the other side, just like that. So what I do to start them off, you get your cardboard, lay it down, and I do 2 side by side so you can fit 1 bag on them. You want to put the bags on them because you don't want it drying out, okay? And from what I understand, you just keep the bags on until the logs are knitted together, meaning the mycelium has gotten into, each side of the log where you put the spawn, like here and down on the bottom. Well, it's going to grow out into these, it's going to grow into the logs from those cuts, right? Or those joints. So back to the bags, from what I understand, because I've never done this before, but I'm an expert now, is you're going to put paper. You can use big paper, like leaf bags or these bags here. You just don't want stuff getting at it. You don't want, the rain and all that washing away your spawn and getting everything super wet. You just want enough dampness in there, which these bags will keep them damp, because these logs are fairly new. You got to use new logs, guys. You can't use old dried out wood. It's got to be, 1 or 2 weeks old at the most. You want clean cuts on them, and then you don't want bugs getting on them. I had a problem over here because I left this maple, for a couple, 3 weeks while I went on vacation, and I tried to put some things on it, but as you can see, look, see all these bugs? So I'm gonna have to scrape all of them off because I don't want them on there when I start off. I'll talk about these cuts in a minute. So you got your bags. You can fit 2 totems under each bag. I read different people. Some people just stack the totems. If you got a real flat place, and my place isn't flat, it's kind of going down, so I cut the logs at a little angle to help them kind of lean up, right? and you can put a screw through them. So I screwed one in the top, two on the side. I picked the whole thing up. So the way I did it was, we'll just take this one as an example. Would go in here first, make sure all the bugs are off. By the way, these cuts I put in here, you want to scrape all this off because these are probably bug eggs or something. I cut these up with I used a vibrating tool, with a blade. Or no, you know what I did? I used a battery-powered circular saw, a DeWalt circular saw. We just set about that, not even that deep, just to put these cuts. It gives a little more room for the spawn to get a purchase, right? So the first thing I do is I take the cap off, and I put a layer of spawn down. You'll see that in a minute. And then I put the cap back on as best I can. Try to get it pretty much the same way it was, so it's level. And I just put one screw right down through here, pushing down on it as I do. So I sandwich that spawn in there real good. And if something happens, this thing falls apart, raccoon comes in here. As you can see, I got an electric fence up here. It's electrified twine. I'll go through that real quick in a minute. There's my charger out there. There's a river behind us over that way. And there's my charger, solar charger. So I'm basically wanting to keep deer out of here. I got a lot of deer pressure. But anyway, back to this. So I put the first one in. Then I take the top off. Take this one, and this one off. Set it aside. Put the spawn down on the second one. Put this part back up on there. In other words, I'm making sure before I start building them that I got my clean cardboard. This is not clean. I just put this down yesterday, so I'm going to do the same thing over there. You got clean cardboard, get your totems set up just like you want them, and then deconstruct them. Take the top off first, put the spawn down, drill the top. Take the top two off, put the spawn down about that thick, as much spawn as you can fit in there without it falling all over. I've got 6 here, oak with lion's mane, and 6 here for blue oyster. And these 6, I'm just about perfect. I've got just that much spawn left to go under this one here. So, but you want to get all your totems set up just like you want them, and then you're just going to deconstruct them. You want to put them side by side, close together, assuming your bags are big enough to put them together like that, or however you want. Maybe you've got small bags, you do one at a time. And then you deconstruct them. Take the top off, put the spawn, drill it, or anchor it. Take the top 2 off, put on the side, put the spawn on, put it back on, drill. I just put 2 on each side to hold it on. Take the whole thing up, which is kind of hard, especially on this oak that's so heavy. But I just picked this whole thing up from here. It was right there. Now it's over here. I'm ready for the last step. It's going to be putting the spawn down here and putting this back on top of it and covering the whole thing with a bag, just like I did there. Real quick, you saw my charger out there. It's got a burial wire that comes in here, a 50-foot piece of burial wire from from Tractor Supply. Goes out there, comes in here, hooks up to my my jury-rigged switch right there. If I throw that switch over, this whole fence goes live. Try to keep as much out as I can. Now I've got, I'm not going to teach you how to build an electric fence right now. This is basically temporary electric fence. If I had to, I could come down here, yank all this out, bundle the twine up, roll the twine up on its reel, which is right there, and be gone. Get all that. I could rip this whole thing out of here in an hour, if not less. But I don't want to rip it out. I don't want the deer getting my stuff. I do have some raccoons in here, some possums that have come through. This is my first inoculation, so I don't know what these bugs and what these animals are going to do to my totems, but I'll give you an update later.